You do your studies while working. Usually, you have to work more than 8 hours per day, and you come to home and you are so stressed, tired, so you don't have to do your studies. Then, what you do? You postpone your studies later, and now you are at the few days before to your exams. You can postpone your studies, but you can't postpone your exams. Anyhow, you have to face that because you have already paid a considerable amount of money for your exams. And also, I think you don't want to waste your time too. If it is you, lovely, then this video is for you. From this video, I am sharing last minute's exam tips. These are not some kind of formal and normal study tips. These are so practical, and I have been using these study tips since my bachelor's. And currently, I too work like you, sometimes more than 8 hours per day, and also I prepare some exams. And I personally use these study tips to keep a very good balance between my studies and hello and beautiful glories. Welcome to my wonderful YouTube channel. I'm Piumsha, an academic writer by profession. Apart from that, I'm a final year master's student. I have created this YouTube channel to share my experience with you. I hope it will improve your study life. You have only 2 days for your exams and you have not studied anything yet. So what's your plan? You are planning to run a study marathon, no? It means you study from early morning to midnight without having any break. You know, I also have very good experience of running study marathons in wrong way, and unfortunately I was not able to win that game. The reason is that studying for long hours without having break turn your brain into mush, and also your eyes fries off. Not only that, ultimately it negatively impact on your exam dates. It is really difficult to combine all the facts and concepts you have already studied to write down a proper answer for the exam within such a short period of time, because you are in so stress, anxiety, no sleep, tired, and that negatively impact on your memorizing. Okay, now you will ask from me, so how it is possible? I have to cover up lots of things during these 2 days of time. So how to do that? Yes, you need to run a study marathon, but not without break. With break. I will tell you how to do that. Now, rules for the study marathon. Actually, there are 2 rules. First thing is that you can only study for 2 hours continuously. You can't do more than that. And also, you need to take break, as I say. You ready? Then let's start. Your first study session starts 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then your first break starts 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then your second study session starts 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Then your second break starts 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Your second study break was for 2 hours. Now you are going to start your third study session from 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And now you are going to start your last break. It's for 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and then you should start your last study session 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Okay, now let's calculate. You have already studied 8 hours and you also had more than 5 hours break. Isn't it amazing? And also, if you want to study for 10 hours per day, then your study schedule. Skip the question and copy the answer. Okay, wait, don't get misunderstood, and I am not telling you to cheat. Let me explain how it happens. Before that, I want to tell you, lovelies, this study tip is super amazing and super productive, and as a result of that, I personally use these study tips normally 2 to 3 days earlier to my final exams. Usually, what we do, we read the text first, and then after we write down the answers for the questions. But here we don't have that much time to read the text first and write down the answers then after. Therefore, what you need to do, you should have your past papers or if some kind of model questions, and also you should have your marking scheme answers. Then what you need to do, you should write down the marking scheme answers under the relevant question, and keep it, remember to write down the answer in bullet point, not in detail, because we don't have that much time. We are cramming for the exams, and this study tip is super effective because you will be automatically studying the exact same answer what your examiner or marking scheme. Save your time and skip to the back. And this is also one of my favorite study tip, and not like a study tip, it is one of my study secret. And here I think you already have noticed the first page of any chapter or text. There are some points highlighting the learning outcomes or key objectives of the chapter. If you have time, I highly recommend you to study to these learning outcomes or the study objectives before you are going to study the chapter. Once you have a clear idea about the learning outcomes and also the study objectives, it will be really easy to capture the main points of that chapter when you study the chapter. And if you don't have any idea about what are the learning outcomes or key objectives of the chapter, actually you will end up with boring mindset, because you think you need to study, read and keep remember each and every word in the chapter, and it will take a lots of time, maybe 1 year to study and keep remember each and every word in a chapter. So that's why I highly recommend you, if you have time, please read and get a clear idea about the learning objectives of the chapter before you are going to study the chapter. It will save lots of time. Unfortunately, now we don't have time to get an idea about the learning outcome of the chapter, then after go to the study. We are rushing. Therefore, what you need to do, you should go to the last page of the chapter, and you can see there's a key summary along with some model question. If there's model questions, you're super lucky. And let's take first this key summary, and take your highlighter and read this key summary first. And I think it will take only 2 to 3 minutes to read any summary of any chapter, because it is not that much big, and highlight the keywords of this key summary, and then go back into the chapter and find this highlighted keyword, and then again highlight the keywords in the chapter and read well, and also study the information which comes under each keyword, and keep remember not to read or study other information because we don't have that much time. Okay, now let's have a look to the questions which mentioned in the last page of the chapter, and you should definitely answer to this question, because there is a high level of probability and possibility that your examiner will just pick this question and just twist and turn how they ask the question, but the concept and answer are similar, and therefore don't forget to get the advantage of last page here. As a business management student, most of the time I have to write essay type answers. Essay type answer means it includes lots of complex words, because it is kind of academic writing, and having so much complex words in our writing in an essay, it is it decreases the interest of reader, and also when it comes to the exam, it negatively impact to reduce our marks also. Therefore, it is really important to change these complex words into some kind of simple similar meaning words. Okay, and also we need to fix our grammar mistakes, but since here we are cramming for the exams, we don't have that much time to check all the grammarly mistake and to find the better words, because it takes lots of time. You can fix all these issues in your writings and save your time if you use Grammarly. I personally use Grammarly, because it has some amazing features. From among them, I really love the freemium vocabulary feature because it can easily shift and change our boring words into simple meaning words. I know it impressed my examiner and also teachers. Apart from that, it can fix the formality of writing while toning entire writing. Because of these features, I currently use Grammarly as my personal digital writing assistant because I am not only use Grammarly just to fix my writings but also to check my mails. And it is really easy to use Grammarly. You just need to download the Grammarly onto your desktop, and then after you can work with Grammarly in anywhere, just like Google Docs. It has a free version too with lots of amazing features, and therefore I highly recommend you lovelies to use Grammarly as your personal writing assistant, and it improves your writing while saving lots of time, especially when you are cramming. If you prepare for national or international big exams, there is a high probability to have subject related videos on YouTube. For example, let's take IELTS exam, and it is one of internationally recognized language proficiency exams, and there are lots of videos available on YouTube. You can just go and watch. Learning from videos is one of super effective study method. If you have time, I highly recommend you to watch a subject related video before you are going to learn that subject in your lecturer session. Because once you have watched a subject related video first, you are going to that lecturer session while keeping some key points in your mind. It means you already know something about that subject, and it will be really easy to capture what your lecturer says in that lecturer session. Just think what will happen if you go to learn a new subject without having anything in your mind. You are going to that lecturer session with clueless mind, and I have very good experience regarding that. And according to my experience, sometimes it took couple of weeks me to get a real idea about what is this subject. Therefore, I highly recommend you lovelies to watch subject related videos if they are available on internet before you are going to learn that subject if you have time. But here now we don't have time for that, and now I will tell you how to learn from videos while saving our time. Just first, what you need to do, you need to find your subject related YouTube videos, and it is really good if you can find most recently uploaded videos, just within 6 months, 3 months time, like that. Okay, once after you played your video, below the video in right corner you can see 3 dots. You just need to click these 3 dots, and in the right corner you can see the transcript. It indicates all the things what your presenter says in the video. You also need to read this transcript and highlight the keyword and note down these keywords on your notebook. Once after you watch the video, go to a place you feel so relaxed and calm with your notebook, and create a mind map in your mind by combining all the concepts which comes under that keywords. And this is really effective, and you will understand how fast you can keep remember all the things once you have created a mind map in your mind. Actually, learning from YouTube video is super effective and so fast. The reason is that you are using multisensory learning. Multisensory learning means you are using more than one sense to learn. You listen, you watch, and you write down all the things. And keep remember not to stare at the screen, and you will end up having. Okay lovelies, these are my last minutes exam tips. From among them, most of the tips I have been using since my bachelor's. I hope you have learned something from new. If it is, please do like. And also I have exposed my super secrets with you. Please subscribe to my channel to make your study journey more wonderful. Thank you so much for your time on this video. I really appreciate that, and also I will catch you soon with another study tip video. Until that, stay safe, stay blessed, and do your study smart. Bye bye.